Union Territory that also are significant today. Professor Sandeep Shastri, Vice Chancellor at the Jagran Lake City University, and with the Lokniti Political Research Group, the country's premier election tracking group, joins us. Professor Shastri, you and Sachidanand Murthy, this question to both of you. Sachidanand Murthy of the Week and Malayalam Manorama, also one of our senior most journalists. Why don't you take it first, Professor Shastri? Is there a sense that while in Bengal, the election has been the national player versus the regional player, in both Tamil Nadu and Kerala, you have two outfits in a way that are regionalized. Perhaps, of course, in Tamil Nadu much more than Kerala, but a sense that Tamil Nadu and Kerala are fighting these elections very much on the issues that are extremely localized and reflect regional identity and regional leadership.
Rajdeep, I would fully endorse what you said. And this also goes on to state the point that the 28 states of India, each of them has its own electoral trajectory. Kerala continues to be a two-alliance party with the BJP having made some inroads. But if our exit poll is to be believed, the BJP seems to have stagnated at the levels it was in the Lok Sabha election. And of course, Tamil Nadu has always, at least in the last 40-50 years, seen the two regional parties leading the alliances. In fact, I would argue, Rajdeep, that the politics of these two states of South India have not received the type of attention that they should. Because I think if in Kerala the LDF were to come back to power, you are negating a trend of 4 decades. And I think also the Kerala trend indicates in some ways the BJP having in important ways reduced the position of the United Democratic Front in general and the Congress in particular.
Right.
And on the other hand, in Tamil Nadu, the role that the two regional allies are playing, the two regional parties are playing, is very clearly indicative of the changing pattern in terms of leadership in that state. Anna DMK not being able to have anybody to inherit the Jayalalitha legacy, whereas in the DMK, Stalin being a clear inheritor of the Karunanidhi legacy. If our exit poll results are what we are going to see today, I think both Tamil Nadu and Kerala reflect these important trends. And I think in this 4-state politics, we seem to be overemphasizing the importance of West Bengal and ignoring what is happening in Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
But can I argue to make the point that EPS has been able in Tamil Nadu to establish himself as the leader of the AIDMK. Amongst those who polled for the AIDMK in the India Today exit poll, 27% said they voted because the Chief Minister. That's 1 in 4 respondents, Rajdeep, saying they voted for the AIDMK because of E. Palaniswamy. And I think that will become one of the critical questions once the results come out. Will Sasikala make a bid for power in Tamil Nadu, or will EPS get to steer AIDMK in a battle against Stalin over the next 5 years?
You know, I think what has happened, Rahul, is that Corona has, in a way, given a leader like Palaniswamy a chance to carve a distinct identity for himself. When we went into rural Tamil Nadu as well, Palaniswamy was seen as someone who had done a reasonably good job with COVID. And for Pinarayi Vijayan also, COVID was a huge challenge, and one which he appears to have met to a large extent, especially on the social security side. So leaders who meet the COVID...
But as we've seen with the centre, that can change very quickly, Rajdeep.
Absolutely, but COVID is a challenge and an opportunity. It's an opportunity to prove your leadership. People are looking for leaders who can provide them a sense of comfort in a crisis. Let's take that to Sachidanand Murthy. Sachi, you've tracked politics for decades. Do you get a sense that COVID now, and not just this election, but going ahead as well, is going to be the kind of issue that voters will judge their politicians on, whether it's your local MLA, whether it's your chief minister or even a councillor? Are you there for them in a crisis is going to become a big issue in the minds of people.
Yes, Rajdeep, earlier it used to be roti kapda makan. That was the challenge on whether you deliver that.
That's
but
right.
Then it became bijli, sadak, pani. But now healthcare, saving lives, livelihoods and lives, that is the biggest challenge for every chief minister. And then this has been there that some chief ministers have done very well on this, some have not done well, and that will be the challenge for them whenever they face elections. That have they delivered? Have they saved lives? Have they been compassionate? That's also there. As you rightly pointed out, Pinarayi Vijayan came out with the big social security net in Kerala. That's what some other states did, but many others have not done that also.
Yes.
And many others have used threats and all that, used very, very rude language. So these all will come into the minds of the people when they vote. When we were in extreme distress, when we were helpless, what did you do as our leader? Not when we were comfortable, not
Right.
when... so when you give your vote, what have you given in return? I think that is where Palaniswamy for future, because he's also facing a factionalized, internal revolt-ridden party where he's not able to still win over the party. But if he does well, gets enough seats this time, he'll be the long-term leader of
No,
the
but we're
AIDMK.
speaking so much of Palaniswamy, but today the sun is rising for Stalin. According to the exit polls, this is Stalin's big day. Of all leaders across states, the one who can be most confident of victory this morning is MK Stalin. So I asked somebody in his camp, is your leader comfortable? The person laughed, saying, you know, from the outside you think an election is easy or it seems to be easy, but when you're fighting an election, you're as nervous as a student who may think he's done well in an exam, but still is anxiously waiting for the CBSE results to come out. You can never be confident, but he's been waiting in the wings for 5 decades. Finally gets to go down as captain of the Chennai Super Kings.
In all probability, that seems to be at the moment most likely. And interestingly, Prashant Kishore and his organization IPAC has been strategizing for both Stalin and Mamata Banerjee. And I think Stalin and the DMK has been the easiest election for them in many ways. You know, they were clearly the front runners. DMK swept the Lok Sabha elections, won all but one seat, the alliance of the DMK. West Bengal is the challenge also for Prashant Kishore and his brand of political strategy and
He'll have to
management.
pack up and go on a political sannyas if the BJP gets more than 100. Do you think he'll keep, he said that to you, he said that to me, do you think he'll keep his word? He's serious about it, he says.
No, well, he's
or do you
already-
think he's going to do some Goli master at the end of the day?
No, Rahul, he's already officer on special duty, or he's got a for
In Punjab.
Amrinder Singh for Punjab, which goes to the polls in January, February. There is a buzz in Rajasthan that Ashok Gehlot was consulting him, not confirmed. So I think the likes of Prashant Kishore will always survive. They are survivors. They will reinvent. And
He
let's-
could do a Kejriwal. मैं ऐसा कभी नहीं करूंगा, कभी नहीं करूंगा, and ultimately end up doing it. Or he could take this seriously and go fight elections in Bihar.
Which is, I think, what I think he wants to in some way go beyond just being a political strategist.
But
He
go, to
wants
Bihar, but go to Bihar and do what? He's already out of the JDU. He's fought with Nitish Kumar.
Look, we all have ambitions, and I think Prashant is entitled to his ambitions to sort of do more than just strategize. But I think it's important to recognize that elections up to a point can be strategized, can be managed, but you need leaders. You know, Prashant Kishore is not Mamata Banerjee. Prashant Kishore is not MK Stalin. At the end, he's not the DMK cadre, the DMK organization. You know, we talk of Stalin, but there's a huge DMK organization behind him. We talk of Mamata, but she's built the TMC out of the debris of the Congress in West Bengal. So, you know, these are the leaders, but Prashant's role is therefore much more about ensuring that the organization is fine-tuned. I don't think he can win you an election that you are sure to lose, as we saw in Uttar Pradesh. So I think we have to keep that
He
also.
can help you in ensuring that you're able to make a hawa about yourself.
No, and
you
in
know,
a
one of the BJP's great skills is that they're able to intimidate the opponent so much
Sure.
that we know lose, the opponent start thinking they're losing.
And because I
Prashant
think-
is able to help resist that.
And because he's worked with the BJP. So I think he knows what it takes to defeat the BJP. But you ask him which is the toughest election he's fought, and he keeps saying Punjab of 2017 when the Aam Aadmi Party was taking on the Congress. I think elections, when they are closely fought, do need someone who's there to sort of micromanage. And I think every political party now needs people to micromanage. But in the end, it's the leader
No, but
and your
that-
party cadre that matters.